Welcome, Queen. First of all, happy Mother's Day weekend to you if you are watching this on Mother's Day weekend. So, as it relates to trust and being a trustworthy person, there are times when we are trustworthy people, trustworthy people can find ourselves in situations where we are blindsided, we are hurt, we are betrayed because we had a conversation with someone or we shared with someone, especially family, and that information came back to us from someone else. It was used against us as a weapon, or it was shared within the family or with others as gossip about us. I know I can recall being in college and not having transportation to get to school. And I shared the challenge I was having getting to school with a relative. And when I got the phone call from my mom asking me why I was riding out all their gas, I was shocked. I was crushed. I did not expect that. I genuinely thought the relative was being kind, being helpful, especially when I was walking to their location to even be able to get the ride. But that was not the case. So let's talk navigating relationships when you are a trustworthy person, but others aren't, especially family. So, before we dive into the best practices to navigate relationships when you are a trustworthy person, but others aren't, I want you to be clear on what it means to be trusted. Meaning, when you say trust, what do you mean? Have you clearly defined it? That's the first thing. Secondly, when you say trustworthy, what does that mean from your perspective? Again, I could share my definitions with you, but this is you. This is your life. So I need you to be clear on what it means so that you can know for yourself when others are violating what it means to be trusted and trustworthy. Take a moment, pause the video if you need to. Now, once you're clear on that, let's navigate or let's talk about the four relationship or relational navigation keys to navigate relationships well when you're trustworthy and others aren't. I'm going to run through them, but then I'm going to go back and explain them. So, number one, evaluate without sharing. Number two, engage without exposing. Number three, encourage without explaining. And number four, empathize without pouring. So here we go. Number one, evaluate without sharing. Have you ever heard of the expression read the room? Yeah, that takes time, but here that's what you need to do. You need to read this person, so to speak. So you will have to become aware of the type of person that they are, and you have to be aware of yourself, especially when you go into certain environments. Do you shift or change what you share? And I can tell you for a fact, I do. For example, when I am or was in certain workspaces, if there were work meetings and I knew that there were unsafe people in the room, guess what? There were certain things that no matter if someone did ask, I was not going to share them in that space because I know that this room is not a safe room. So that calls for me to have a level of awareness. So as you increase your level of awareness, you can increase your level of discernment about other people as well as yourselves, and when this person is safe and when they are not safe, when they are trustworthy and can be trusted, and when they are not trustworthy and can't be trusted. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone does not and should not know every single thing about you. Everyone should not be able to have the same level of access to you, because at that point, if everyone has the same level of access to you, then you don't have any parameters set to determine who is and who is not a trustworthy person. And even Jesus had an inner circle. So let's just be clear on that. There's nothing wrong with setting boundaries and being clear that there are certain things that you are just not going to share with certain people because they have not earned your trust in that way. Number 2, engage without exposing. Now, here, what I'm saying is be polite, but don't feel pressured to share things about you that, again, this person has not earned your trust to know. Too often, as we engage with others, we have conversations with them, we dialogue with them, we communicate with them. We can find ourselves sharing things that should be off limits. And that is how sometimes we end up hurt, betrayed, blindsided, and backstabbed. Don't do that. Let them talk and you be the listening ear. Again, let them explain, let them share, and they can tell their life story if they want to. But you be the supportive person that is open to hear what they have to say and nothing more. You see, there are times when people, again, they haven't earned our trust. So we get to know them, and as we get to know them, then we can determine if they are a person that we can trust and a person who is trustworthy. Because if, as we get to hear them speak and they engage with us, we see that they are not that person, then we should not be sharing things with them that they should not know. Again, accountability, and we have to be willing to take accountability. Y'all, if y'all can hear that rattling truck car, forgive the noise. It's in the afternoon time and people are moving. So, number 3, encourage without explaining. Here, again, it's all up to you. You have the power to navigate relationships well as a trustworthy person, even if the people who are in those who you're having a relationship with or you're trying to get to know is not a trustworthy person. So you can uplift people without telling your life story. So you can encourage them without telling all your business. So no, I remember when, no, I can relate, no, I remember a time. Because the thing about it is, once we go into that zone, we are sharing intimate details of our life. And when we start sharing intimate details of our life, that's fine for us to do. But if we're doing it with people who aren't people who we can trust and aren't people who are trustworthy, then we have opened ourselves up to be hurt, to be wounded by them, to be blindsided by them. So, if at all possible, keep that in the back of your mind as this person is speaking to you and you are speaking to them. Pay attention to the things that you are saying, because sometimes conversation just starts to flow and we can start to speak without filtering. And when we speak without filtering and we're speaking to a person who is we can't trust, and who isn't trustworthy, it can lead to problems, issues where like I said, we are burned on the back end because we shared something we shouldn't have on the front end. And then number 4, empathize without pouring. Here I'm sharing with you that it's fine to relate. It's fine to be relatable. You are human and they are human. And so naturally, as we talk to other people, there are going to be things about them that we can relate to, things about their life, maybe things about their current situation that we truly understand because we've been there, we've lived it, or maybe we find ourselves currently in that situation. Yet, it is still up to us. We still have the power to protect our energy, to protect our time, to protect our resources. So, what I'm sharing with you here is do not just voluntarily give someone your time, your resources, and your energy. No, if they're, for example, in a financial situation and they're saying and sharing how they don't know how they're going to pay their bills and they just need to borrow some money and they'll pay it back. Do you know them like that? Do you know their character? To just say, oh yeah, I remember when I was in a financial crisis, I had some challenges financially. I know what this like, and then next thing you know, you volunteered to help this person out, and now you've given them your hard-earned money. And then if they don't pay it back because they're not a trustworthy person, they just lied to you, now you find yourself blindsided. Or if this person saying, oh yeah, I in a situation where I have to move and I don't have anybody to help me move and I really need someone to help me move. Don't go into a spill where you say, oh well, that sucks. You know what, I have some time free. When do you need to move? I Now you volunteered yourself, you volunteered your time. And again, is this person a person you can trust? Are they trustworthy? So that's what I mean when I say protect your time, protect your energy, protect your resources. Because if you pour out these things and this person is not a person that you can trust, they are not a person who is trustworthy. Number one, you can't get your time back and you can't get your energy back. But if you're giving money, I mean, that's something that people can borrow and pay back. But how often do untrustworthy people do that? That's why I'm saying take the time to empathize without pouring. Because once you pour, you can't unpour. It's done. So, again, evaluate without sharing, engage without exposing, encourage without explaining, and empathize without pouring. To use these 4 relationship navigation keys, it allows you to minimize being burned, blindsided, or backstabbed by people who do not operate like you do. Because just because you are a trustworthy person doesn't mean everyone else is. So understand as you approach relationships that everyone isn't on your level. So you must stop engaging and navigating relationships like they are. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you can change your life. So go ahead and do something life changing now.